football league the city of Pittsburgh in the Great North has ever known. It's year 14 of the league, and Big Raisin squad, the Raisins of Wrath, scored their first championship in 2024. Are they poised for a repeat, or will another squad unseat them to take the CBA crown? Let's dive into their draft and see who is best positioned to make some noise. The Illegal Touchers started things off with a move that surprised nobody, taking Christian McCaffrey with a 1-1. Josh clearly is not worried about the murky health issues that have surrounded McCaffrey all offseason and is looking for another dominating season from the star running back to bolster his team. The Touchers are leaning heavily on a high-octane passing attack, taking 6 wide receivers in the first 12 rounds of the draft, including 2 rookies with high expectations, the talented Malik Nabers and Keon Coleman. Hopefully those rookies hit big because running back is looking a little thin for this crew. Aside from McCaffrey, Josh drafted James Cook, who is destined for big things in Buffalo. Outside of those 2 backs, he has a crew of unproven ball carriers led by injured rookie Jonathan Brooks. The Touchers also made the coveted Mr. Irrelevant pick and made maybe the most irrelevant Mr. Irrelevant pick I've ever seen. Ben Sinnott, tight end from Washington. Who is that guy? Thug Nasty Thumper was in the second slot and put running back completely on the back burner, taking some early powerhouse players in the passing game. Starting the draft with CeeDee Lamb, Josh Allen, Chris Olave, and Sam Laporta, Thumper is hoping to put some air in the ball and run up the score with the pass attack. A lot of questions at the running back position for Thump. Najee Harris shares the lead role in Pittsburgh. Aaron Jones is leading a backfield in a new destination, and Zamir White is, well, he's not very good. Thump is going to need to either hit the waiver wire early and often or swing some big trades to upgrade his backfield if he is going to find his way into playoff contention this season. Canadian Maple must be living in 2010 because he is sticking with the old tried and true running back to start the draft. With back-to-back picks of Breece Hall and Isaiah Pacheco, the Northerners cemented one of the most important fantasy positions early. In round 7, Maple drafted Joe Burrow to lead the squad under center, apparently not concerned about the injuries that popped up for the star quarterback from last year. A strong group of wide receivers, including Deebo Samuel, Nico Collins, and Drake London, help anchor a team that looks to be near the top of the standings when the dust settles. The biggest question mark for this team is tight end. Dalton Kincaid is the starter, and he certainly has the potential. The question is whether he gets enough usage to justify his draft position. All-around solid draft from Maple, making him a serious contender for this season's crown. BW Playmakers continued his love affair with drafting a quarterback in the first round, taking Patrick Mahomes 5th overall, earning him the Steve Urkel "Did I do that?" award. He's clearly fallen in love with the name, not the production, making this pick one of the biggest question marks in the draft. Aside from his first-round pick, a pretty balanced roster for the Playmakers, including a strong pair of running backs in Etienne and Jacobs. Mike took Michael Pittman in the 4th round, a talented wide receiver who may have his production limited by the, let's just say, lack of throwing skills of Anthony Richardson. Mike takes home the Pepper Brooks "That's a bold strategy, Cotton, let's see how it pays off for him" award by drafting not 1 but 2 kickers, Jason Sanders and Tyler Bass. Not a move I would endorse, and not one I would expect from a team destined for a fantasy championship. The young professor scored one of the strongest starts of the draft, with 3 powerhouse position players in the first 3 picks: Tyreek Hill, Kyron Williams, and Devon off-the-chain Achane. Great value at the wide receiver position for the YPs, with T. Higgins in the 5th and Rashee Rice in the 8th. The professors clearly went to wide receiver school and graduated with honors. Brad is buying another big year on the frozen tundra from Jordan Love and thinks J.K. Dobbins has what it takes to land the starting role, or at least some significant carries, with the Chargers. Pat Freiermuth is the lead tight end for the Profs, not a move I love regardless of who is at the helm in Pittsburgh. The professors must not share those same concerns and feel so confident in their draft that they chose not to add a kicker to the team at all. Forget what I said about Playmakers, now that is a bold move. The defending champions were in the 7th spot and are all in on the crew for Motor City. The Raisins decided to build this year's team around Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 NFC North stud muffins. Take a look at the 5 best reaches and steals of the draft. We'll start with the 5 Men in Black best of the best sir picks. The ones that made the league think, how'd they get them there, as they stare at the draft board when the dust settles. Number 5. Raisins of Wrath is buying the hype on Anthony Richardson, but didn't have to pay up to do so. Richardson, typically going in the 6th round, went into the 10th in this draft. Raisin, who also selected Lamar Jackson, is going to have a wealth of options at starting quarterback. Number 4. The young professors pick up Curtis Martin at pick 164, 41 picks below his ADP. While it is yet to be determined how much impact he will have this year in Buffalo, it has been determined that Brad, well, he got a great deal on this pick. Number 3. The Chili Peppers grabbed Jacoby Myers in the 18th round of the draft. Let's ignore that he had that ridiculous 35 games without a touchdown to start his career stat. The Peppers nabbed this potential number 2 wideout almost 50 picks below his ADP. Now that is solid drafting. Number 2. Sarver Soldiers, always a skilled drafter, selected Marquise Brown in the 15th round, a whopping 62 picks below his ADP. There are a lot of mouths to feed in Kansas City, especially with new and exciting rookie Xavier Worthy on the squad, but this kind of value is impossible to pass up on such a high-powered offense. Number 1. The best pick belongs to the crew. We already mentioned him once, but it's worth repeating. Rome Odunze in the 15th round, 6 rounds lower than his ADP. If Caleb Williams is the star quarterback that everyone thinks he is, Josh hit it out of the park with this selection. And now let's take a look at the 5 worst reaches of the draft, those picks that make you wonder if this guy's ever flipped on a football game before. Well, he might have had the best pick in the draft, but he also has a couple of duds. Number 5 goes to Corby's crew, taking Justice Hill in the 18th round of the draft. Now, you can't hate on him that much. With the draft almost over, you've got to take a player if you have a hunch. Want more Fantasy Playback draft recap? Order yours today at fantasyplayback.net because your league deserves a highlight reel.